Hello, everybody. I'm Reena Augustine, and welcome to Life Journey with Cornerstone Law Offices. I have this amazing lady from our community, Indian community in Brisbane, Miss Pravanita Singh Pillai, who's going to share our journey with us today. Hello, Miss Prav.
Thank you, Reena. Thank you for welcoming me.
Thank you for accepting and coming over here. First of all, I would like to start with asking you a very important question. Why did you choose Australia, and where did you come from?
Right, okay, so I was born in Fiji, so hopefully our listeners or our watchers know, our audience know where that is. I was born in Fiji and I went to study in New Zealand, so I got a scholarship to study there. How did I end up in Australia, in Brisbane particularly, is I came to study law basically. So I didn't get a scholarship to do law in New Zealand because they wouldn't give you, as a foreign student, an admission into their law school because their internal demand was that high. So in Wellington, the local university at that time, and I'm talking 25 years ago, they didn't have intakes for foreign students in the law faculty. So that's how I ended up in Brisbane to purely study law at Griffith University.
So you graduated from Griffith University?
I did, yes. So we were the first cohort of a double degree program. So I did politics and, interestingly, politics in commerce and Bachelor of Laws, basically, out of Griffith University.
And what do you specialize in right now?
So there's a wide range of things, but very close to my heart is family law, which includes, separation of parties, fighting about children, custody battles, property settlement, etc., domestic abuse, and all of that sort of thing.
We will definitely come back to that one. As you said that your background is from Fiji,
yes.
And why did you move to New Zealand to study? Just because of the scholarship, or?
Yes, so basically Fiji is a small country, small island. We were looking at exploring opportunities to further our studies abroad, basically, to get some opportunity elsewhere. So I applied for a bursary scholarship, and what it's known as the bursary level is what they call it, which is like a post year 12. So I got that scholarship and I went and studied in Wellington. Thereafter, Australia was the option for me to come to do my university. Yes.
Okay, and tell me about Australia. Did you like Australia?
Yes, so Brisbane, like I say, and I have always said, Brisbane is home to me now. Yes, I was born in Fiji, but Brisbane is home to me. My family is all here. I have lived overseas, including in America, for a period of time and worked in the legal industry over there. But I effectively got homesick and wanted to come back to Australia, and particularly Brisbane. So in terms of my journey, yes, as a child, I've always wanted to be a lawyer. My dad was in that industry, so he's a retired magistrate and deputy registrar of the High Court in Fiji. So as a little girl, that's all I ever wanted to do. I think even to this day, if you ask me to do something else, I would probably not have any idea of how I will carry on any other task, basically. I'm very passionate about it, and that's how I've landed up in the legal profession.
Wow, so you said that you only know everything about legal laws. So who runs your business?
Yes, so I do with my husband, but we have a fantastic team. So we started this business about 5.5 years ago now with my husband, basically from scratch. Effectively, I opened the firm Cornerstone Law Offices with one client, and we've built this practice now, and we have various locations now and a fabulous team. And it's great to have you part of that team as well, obviously, in the migration sector. We have a team of about 18 now, which we call our family, and that's helped us grow. And we have our mascot, our little four-legged fur baby, Marley, and that's how we've grown, basically.
And where are your offices located?
So we are in Brisbane City, and we are on the Gold Coast. We are in North Lakes on the north side of Brisbane, and we're in Loganholme, which is sort of south side of Brisbane.
So where to from now? So you said that, you were into legal, your husband looks after everything. Where to from now? How do you see contributing to the community as Cornerstone Law Offices team?
Yes, so we do get involved in the community a lot and give back to the community, because not only myself was as an overseas student, but my husband also was an overseas student. So we invest a lot now, knowing the difficulties and the challenges we faced as overseas students, getting your first jobs here, and how difficult it is because everybody wants local experience or some form of experience. So we try and invest and make offers to basically other young people who are graduating. So we do take a lot of time and energy and invest it into mentoring young people, whether they are from Australia or they're foreign. It's sort of all merit tested basically. And in the way that we give back to the community is our mentality or our understanding is without the community, we don't have a firm, we don't have a business because we won't have clients. Therefore, how do we give back to them? We sponsor events, including multicultural events. We sponsor soccer clubs, we sponsor basketball teams, and it's engaging with the family. And given the line of work that we do, it's all about people and relationships with people and the challenges they face in their lives, especially in the family law area of law. So it's important for us to educate the community, but also to invite them to participate in these platforms of sporting events. They can either be playing sports or going there to the entertainment at a cost-effective way as a family. To Australian Indian Theatre, to red carpet events that you put together, the multicultural fashion show that you put together, which is fantastic, is bringing cultures together. So it's not only about our community, our Indian community, but it's educating the community about who we are, but also embracing other cultures.
Absolutely. That's why we are actually Brisbane, Queensland. Australia is known for
Yes.
multicultural country.
Yes.
I actually would like to point out the point which you said, mentoring the youngsters. And also, as you said, that it's very hard for the youngsters to get a breakthrough.
Yes.
And Cornerstone Law Offices gives that opportunity.
Yes.
How did you find out, and why did you share that with us, if you can?
Yes. So when I graduated back in 1996 and formally became a lawyer in 1997, I could have wallpapered my bedroom with the rejection letters, right? You apply for jobs and you get knocked back and you get knocked back, and you basically get disheartened and you start thinking, have I done the right cause or not? And then I guess persistence is the key. So how do we give back, basically? And we know that in the legal industry itself, there are lots and lots of graduates out there looking for work, young graduates. We welcome them as students. If they apply I encourage students to come and volunteer, to get your foot in the door, you prove yourself, and you learn as you're going. So you're basically on the job training. And I do enjoy, I don't like teaching, I say that, I don't like teaching, but I like mentoring people. So I like to train them on the job. And, if they're quick learners, they will learn. And if they're passionate about what they're doing, then to me, it's not work for them. I get up every morning and I go to work, but it's not work for me. I always say that the day I get up and I don't want to go to work is when I need to resign, or now, in my case, I need to retire and find another job, I suppose. But that's how we sort of invest in the young ones as well, is to teach them, life skills. Mentoring, making them volunteer at events that we sponsor, so they learn to give back to the community as well. And it's not just about, school, private school, to university, to then earning the big dollars. So it's investing those life values in them.
Absolutely. So I have spoken to many schools, and Cornerstone Law Offices takes youngsters and mentors them. And when I spoke to many employee committee in universities and colleges, the main head of the college tells me that, Reena, it is very hard to find employers, because nobody has the patience to train the youngsters. So
Yes.
how do you do it?
Yes, so I don't do it all myself. So I'm now at that level where we've got a team and we use peer learning.
Yeah.
So it's important for me, like, for example, we've had one of the employees who's been with us pretty much for the last 4.5 years. She came to us as a third-year law student, and she's been brilliant. But every other employee that we've hired since her, whether they were lawyers, experienced lawyers, paralegals, or whoever we've hired, she has trained them in our way of doing things, in what Cornerstone Law Offices means, how we operate, how we treat our clients, and there is a difference. And we are passionate about that, and we have our standards, and we will not compromise that. So therefore, it's peer learning. So she'll train somebody, and then when somebody else comes on board, and they'll train each other, they learn from each other, they to ask questions of each other, and then I do group trainings as well. The other thing is my husband, his background is in, training and mentoring people, and, he's hired and 180 staff in his previous life, in his previous job. So he's passionate about that and he's very good at that. So our skill sets are complementary in that regard. So he mentors them in terms of life skills and all of that sort of stuff as well. But not only that, we also bring in external skills. So external trainers. For instance, we will bring together our whole team because we are at various locations.
Yeah.
It's nice to bring the whole family together. And Bob's philosophy is let's bring them together once a month and they can train each other, or we bring an external person to train them, and it's not then just Bob and myself telling them stuff to do.
So you invest in your employees.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
we do. If we don't invest in their time, in their lives, in their well-being, then they will not feel satisfied. Then how can they perform well to then benefit our clients at the end of the day?
Absolutely.
So they need to be happy to come to work,
That's right.
and that's the environment we try and create.
No wonder that you're known in the community, Ms. Pravanita, because many people look for you because they know that you're going to get the best one. Thank you very much for sharing all these amazing experiences of your life. As you said that 25 years you've done, you don't look the age, I must say.
Thank you, Rina.
I have heard that you have done a lot of volunteering and you have been in many places, and you also mentioned that you were in United States of America.
Yeah, so my legal career started in Brisbane at the Director of Public Prosecution, so in the criminal prosecution side. So that was my first job in Brisbane, and thereafter we moved to a country town called Charleville, which is country Queensland basically. So as a young lawyer at age 22, 23, that was an absolutely wonderful experience because it was a general practice. Therefore, you did and you worked in every area of law that walked in the door, basically. So, and I'm still friends with my former employer. You build that relationship with country people, I guess, and we still have friends there. So, at that stage, I was doing criminal defense work, family law work, personal injury work, estate administration, you name it, we did it, right? So it was interesting because you get to learn a wide variety of areas of law. I remember in law school we were told the area of law that you're excelling in academically may not be where you're going to end up. You may end up being passionate about something different. So from there, then we had this opportunity to go and live in America and work in America for a period of time. So we did. We lived in California for 5 years. And again, it was a change in the area of law that I got an opportunity to work in. That was employment law. So we lived in Silicon Valley and worked in Silicon Valley basically, so dealing with all the Yahoos, the eBays and Googles. But in employment law, at that stage, my employer was only representing employees to avoid a conflict of interest situation, which meant we acted only for employees and therefore we were only suing these big companies, right? So that was an interesting experience because I had not done employment law work in Australia, even though I had studied industrial relations at law school. So then journeyed through there, that was different learning experience, and it was great. I mean, look, in life, any experience, negative or positive, is not a waste of time.
Absolutely.
You obviously learn and grow from it, right? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, doesn't it?
True.
So, so California was amazing and different area of law. And then, like I said earlier, I got homesick and wanted to come back home to Brisbane. Then I landed up in Gold Coast, basically, in a boutique family law firm, again, by chance. I got that job because when I came back to Australia, having lived away for 5 years, the system had changed in the way you were applying for jobs. It was no longer you applied directly to the law firms, you were effectively applying through recruitment agencies. So that was a different mindset for me. You have to apply to the agencies, and so I got underway doing that. This agency, this person, I remember he was near the Story Bridge down in Brisbane. He actually went with my skill set and effectively tried to look for work for me. So when I got the work that I did at Charles Cooper Lawyers, there was no position, but my employer at the time created a position for me, which was great. So it was a boutique family law firm, and that's how I fell into family law, basically, which was interesting. And a time of my life where there was some upheaval in my own marriage. And so it was interesting. I'm doing family law and I can't even, I'm having issues in my own relationship. But it made sense because I could then relate to my own clients.
Yeah.
And I could say, yes, go to marriage counseling. And I could say things, not just having read in a book, but having that life experience and going through it myself. So that was an interesting time of my life, I guess. So I worked for Charles for about 5 years. He was unwell. He had serious illness, and therefore I got the opportunity to manage his firm, which meant there were 8 lawyers and about 5 support staff that I was effectively managing. And I don't have any managerial skills for running that, but I enjoyed that opportunity. And then it came to a position where I effectively reached the ceiling, if I can call it that. I wasn't growing within the firm. He wasn't selling to me, and therefore I thought, fine, I'm going to go out and open my own. And I've always wanted to do that. And I have other friends that I went to university with in Brisbane, have their own firms. So I guess that was sort of a dream, and my husband had asked at that time, well, what do you want to do? Because he was working away, and I kind of jokingly said that he was my part-time husband at the time because he was working interstate. What do you want to do? And I said, I want to have my own. We birthed Cornerstone Law Offices. So that's the journey of my career for the moment, and still passionate about what I do. So
You
the
made
word
your
written.
dream come true.
I did make my dream come
Yes.
true, and I think every day I'm still making it to come true in the sense of making an actual difference in people's lives, whether they're people being our clients or people being our staff, people being our network of people we deal with, or the community that we live in and support.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pravanita Singh Pillai, and thank you very much for giving your time, and we'll be back next time.
Yes, thank you, Reena.
Thank you.